Hey guys, I thought I'd put a quick video together on gear leveling. There's a lot of guys out there that I've seen and gals out in the open world there that they're actually leveling up their gear the hard way. I know when you do bosses or any event, you get a good chance to get some good loot and everything up sweet. You might have a friend that carries you through something, and you might get blue or a rare epic drop just in an area that I'll just jump in an open dungeon. Let's see what happens, And by chance, you might get an epic bit of loot. That's happened with me. I've actually got a piece of legging and boots. I was lucky enough to put it towards my traits. But what I want you to do and understand is that if you find and get any of that loot, but all your earlier level gear is still, say, only got 1 or 2 levels into it, don't transfer straight away, say from your green into blue with only a couple in there. Try and max them out. You need to max them out. The better part of this game in early game, especially when you're first starting out, is that all your storyline gives you so much materials towards, I'd say, one particular build in the beginning. So it is hard to sort of pick and choose which way you want to go at the start, but there are plenty of videos and definitely plenty of builds out there now for any newcomers to really look into to see which way they want to go for any combination. I'd definitely look into that before starting the main story, because there's so many people out there, and you see it a lot in these dungeons. Your level 50 dungeons in particular, they're so underleveled with their gear and everything that they're struggling in there. And if you're lucky enough to get through it, I was out in a dungeon last night with my son and a mate, helping him level up. And yes, it doesn't come down to just the weapons. Your skills need to come up. But when you can see that person's gear and they're at level, what, say 40, 42, and they don't have any green gear, they've obviously been changing quite often. Okay, now the procedure to doing it is very simple. Your first gear, it's not marked, not colored, it's uncommon. Go green. Green, you can start leveling. Level it up to 6. Once you've got that to 6, you find another piece of blue, which in most cases with the lithographs, you can get your early set of blue through the lithographs by crafting all those green armors that are there, or weapons. Do that, because as you get towards end game, you'll be able to get the epics that you actually want and work towards. Now, I've only just got my daggers last night, finally, after 32 shots at the Cave of Destruction. Now, I've already done something similar, so I've made the mistake, but I've already done and put some traits into a weapon previously, not knowing that I was going to change later on. And that's purely because, my brother, he loves being a tank, so I thought, why not? I had a nice tank build, which I still do. It's still, power is about 2300, but I transferred it over, and then I started one later. I'm like, oh, I still haven't done my sword and shield because I'm waiting for that shield now. So now I'm doing the hard grind to finish this. So my crossbow is level 9. I did it the right way. So pretty much you go from green, 6 levels. You find the blue that you want to stick with. Transfer that into your blue. So you're going to transfer. Obviously, I don't have nothing at the moment. Put the one that you want to transfer into first. So your blue goes up here. Then your green will come up saying, "Yep, sweet." With 6 levels, that's going to bump that blue straight up to 3 levels without you having to grind for it. Alright, and then the storyline will continue, and you'll get majority of it. I'd say 95%, 90 to 95% of it in that. So that's where you want to sort of head, because that way, as you get towards endgame, you're pretty close to being, at least with your weapons and most of your armor, it's already giving you a jump. So when you go from blue, you can chuck 9 levels in it, as you saw in my last one. Alright, now when I did my crossbow, that with level 9, I ended up level 9 blue, chucked 6 levels into my epic gear. So pretty much it gave me a head start with a little bit of blessing because some of mine had some good traits in there as well. Blessing just helps so later on when you go to add traits later, it actually gives you a higher percentage chance of that trait imprinting onto that properly without failing. So the higher the blessing, the better for you. So everything sort of snowballs together, you know. So definitely do not just go, oh, I love that gear. Oh wait, I should have picked that one. Shit, nah. You've really, yes, it's still a game. I get it. Yes, people have, you know, you can change on the fly and everything. I've done it. I still do it. But in this particular game, especially with the story the way it is, and it's not a very big storyline, PvE wise, the main story gets you up quite far and where you need to be. So I highly suggest, please, as a beginner, don't do this to yourself. It's a lot harder that way. Do your research, search up your builds, you know, full combinations, whatever you want to do, even when it comes to your skills, you know, do all that. But in particular with your armor and weapons, make sure you, with the materials you get from story, you're going the way you really want to go. There are plenty combinations out there and plenty builds online that you can see, and I tell you now, a lot of them are hitting hard as, literally hard as all shit. My current DPS build I found later, and I'm hitting well over 100k. All right, so that's as I am now, and I'm not even complete with all my epic gear. So I can't emphasize it enough, really, just to help yourselves out. Make sure you do the process, especially whilst you still got the story going. If you're a new player, you know, green, 6 levels. Those 6 levels will go into blue, but only 3 will get transferred. Sorry, I shouldn't have said 6. But 3 levels go make that into blue. And then once you level your blue up to 9 with the story, which you will get it to 9, alright, the blue will chuck 6 levels into your epic armor or weapons. So try and stick to which way you want to go. Like I said, there's plenty out there. And it's really just to help you guys out, because even my son is mixing and changing, and I got a couple friends that are doing the same thing, and here I am trying to teach them and guide them through it as well. I had to learn, and I just thought I'd put something together to sort of help you guys out. So it's the same process really with all of them. You know, go into your equipment enchanting, and when you go to transfer, and yeah, you put the first one that you want to transfer into, so it'll be your new gear, which will have no levels into it. You know, so chuck the blue up there, green. When the blue's done up to level 9, remove the level blue gear and chuck in the epic gear. And then from there, you chuck the blue down here and you'll chuck 6 levels straight into weapon, armor, whatever. You know, and then that story will complete that for you. You won't get probably all the armor per se into all that until you do a little bit of grinding. But if I'd known what I know now, I probably would have had most of it already completely leveled and just be working on my traits. I'm lucky enough that I'm doing some of the dungeons and everything now that are helping me out that way. So yeah, do yourselves a favor. This is a really good idea. There's so many people out there explaining it as well. Obviously, I would have loved to have shown you in person how to do that. But I've got, as you can see, I've put a lot of mine up on the auction. So pretty much just to make some coin for myself. But yeah, it definitely works while you got the story going. Once you complete the story, it's definitely a much bigger grind. And if you're not in a group to go to some of those open dungeons, it's harder to get the resources to be able to craft them. Because if you just go in the dungeon solo, unless you tap that monster first, the odds of you getting any material from it or a drop, you got bucklies. You're fucked. So yeah, definitely help yourselves out. All right. So if this video helps, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.